later. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. I am Gabby from the Buncee team, and I'm here tonight with my colleague Jenna from the Buncee team, of course, as well, and of course, Bronwyn Joyce today, our featured host. And I'm so happy to welcome everyone to this first in a series of basically digital storytelling workshops that we're going to have all throughout the month of November as part of National Novel Writing Month, which we are taking international by welcoming everyone, of course, from all over. And of course, by having Bronwyn, who is hosting all the way from Australia. So Jenna, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. If you just want to introduce yourself, say hi, and then we'll turn it over to you, Bronwyn.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jenna from the Buncee team, and yeah, I'm really excited for Bronwyn to get started. So let's go.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Jenna. And Jenna and I will be in the chat to answer any questions that you all have to help with anything like that. So please feel free if you have questions as Bronwyn is going along to let us know in the chat or in the Q&A function. Those buttons are located at the bottom of your Zoom window. And if you want to go ahead and ask questions, we're here to help. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Bronwyn. Bronwyn, thank you so much for being here and for hosting this webinar. If you want to talk a little bit about the Global Write, introduce yourself, and talk about the digital story contest as well, and then go ahead and take it away.
Fantastic, and welcome everybody, and how exciting to see so many people from all over the world. And this is exactly what we wanted to get out of our month-long, our global almost writing competition. But you know, when we talk about writing, yes, we've got some amazing prizes coming through from Capstone and Buncee, but I think it's the connection of sharing stories that is exciting me more than anything as we take this journey this month together. And so just a little bit from me. Yes, it's 11 a.m. here in Australia. I've just been at one of the schools that I'm currently working with. I've ducked out for half an hour or an hour to spend with you all, and I'm actually heading back, and I'm teaching today, and I'm actually teaching a writing session. And just to let everybody know, we are using Buncee today. So I'm introducing Buncee for the very first time to one of our local secondary schools here. And we're using it as part of the English block for our 7th grade students here. So really excited to share a little bit of what I'm going to be doing with them today and with the students, but also taking you through my philosophy of the power that Buncee can bring to your classrooms and the work that you're actually doing to ignite creativity and inspiration with our students in the classroom. And I think that's the power of what we're seeing, and especially after the pandemic now, we've got children coming back in. Yes, they've been on computers, and yes, they've been doing online learning, but it's about igniting that creativity again back in our classrooms and creating that discussion. I'm somebody who feels like the world's telling us that, oh, we've got all these children that have lost learning, but I really don't think that we've lost learning. What our children have lost is the ability to communicate with each other and share in the work that they're doing. And that's what I love about this month, where we're sharing stories, because we're getting back to the roots of writing and creativity and exploring our imagination with our students. And I know a huge big shout out to Michael Drezick, who is in our chat there at the moment. Michael is going to be running a workshop, I know, next week, but he has used Buncee in a way where he's seen classrooms all over the world create one story. And so there's so much that you can actually do when you step out of the realms of the walls of the classroom and start giving children the opportunity to do something different. And I'm just going to start sharing my screen here with you, because I wanted to start today with And I'm going to make it preview. All right. And I think what's really important when we think about our students is the more our kids see that their thinking matters, the more they understand their own power. And as educators, too often that we take the power of thinking away from our students, and we just give them repetitive worksheets, tasks. Sometimes the classes are all doing the same thing. And so we're actually pulling away the ability for our children to think. And it is through tools like Buncee, and there's many other technology tools out there, but what we're doing is we're actually creating an environment where we're not only allowing our students to think, but we're also allowing them an opportunity for agency and voice, and adding rigor to our classrooms. And so where we're seeing our students actually take the lead in their learning. And that's what we want. This year I've been working across 3 secondary schools, and it's been a new experience for me, seeing lots of students, being handed articles that are the same for everybody in the class, or everybody's writing about this topic. Too bad about the students that don't want to write about that, or they don't have an interest in that, or they don't have a passion about it. And so it's about broadening our horizons with our students. So where has the Global Right, which I'm the founder of, why did I start that? And what resonated with me was the fact that the writer's notebook, and you'll see that if you access the Global Right, you'll see I'm really, really passionate about students unpacking their thinking. And that's where we're going to get to today, with how Buncee can help our students do that. But how can we expect our children to write if they don't know or aren't given the opportunity to actually unpack what they're thinking, or explore and get the opportunity to actually write down what they know, or their prior knowledge, research in any way? And so for me, I advocate in all the schools I work at, and also in all the online work I do, and globally with schools, is that take the lines away from the students, give them a blank page, and take a look at the difference that you're going to get. And so the writer's notebook can have so many different names if you want in your classroom. It can be a thinking notebook, it can be a global notebook, it can be a thinker's toolkit, it can be whatever you want. But just take the lines away and give students a blank book, and use that in your writing as the first tool towards the writing process. And so what we know about a blank page is there's no rules. Teachers, I don't correct those blank pages, because it needs to be a safe place for our students. Now, this can be online as well. So you can take, I've watched a young Sudanese girl in my classroom who was selectively mute. She wouldn't speak. She actually wouldn't write anything for me. And I actually had her using Buncee. And what it actually allowed her, she would always use the blank, create her own Buncee page. But what we saw is she started to unpack her thinking through the animations, through the stickers, adding her writing onto her blank Buncee page. So Buncee became her writer's notebook. And what we've seen is her slowly, as she continued to take this writing journey via Buncee, she would then start sharing her stories with children that were on the table. So within 18 months, we saw a selective mute young student in 3rd grade. By 4th grade, the only difference that I had with her was that she was given a blank page, it was using Buncee, and she started sharing and talking about, because what we didn't know about her is that she had a creative element. Creativity was She liked the imagery. She liked being able, she wasn't confident drawing, but Buncee gave her that, took the fear away from not being able to draw, and it had the drawings there for her. So she was able to actually ignite her thinking process via an online writer's notebook. So I want to make that really clear, that it doesn't have to be a blank page in a book. It can be a blank page in a program, especially like Buncee. And later on, I will share where the journey would go with my students with Buncee. But what we actually had is, we had the unpacking process at the beginning of the writing process, and then there was no Microsoft Word in my classroom. There was only Buncee. Buncee was our publishing tool. And so all the work that the students did when they moved to creating a voice to publish any of the writing that they did it through Buncee. And what we actually did at the end of the year is we created what we call a writer's gift. And we printed all the students' Buncees off that they had, and we had them collected into folios, and we made them into a book. And we gave that book I wrapped it up in Christmas paper, and then I gave it to my students as a gift. And I said to the students, here is my gift to you. And that was their amazing work, which was a book full of all their published work. But what they got to see was they had animations in there. They had taken photos of things. So they had the opportunity to create this writer's gift and publish, and ownership over what they were actually publishing. So instead of in Word, which, don't get me wrong, all programs have a purpose, but what we saw is that extra step of creativity, agency, ownership of these books that I'll be able to actually share some of them with you shortly. And I really like this quote as I finish on this page. And writing in a notebook is a way to fuel up. Supreme, superior, unlettered, and it's free. And that's what we want for students. And we want that notebook to be, or we want this unpacking journey to be really like taking a personal journey for these kids. We want them to find passion again through writing and thinking. And so here are some written notebooks that I just wanted to share. And people that are here listening tonight, I know you've probably got smiles on your faces knowing me as an educator, but you can see the power of what the UN Sustainable Goals mean to me. And so obviously I enrich the students that I teach in real world topics and themes, and really get them thinking about, what is human rights. We were unpacking some work around refugees with some of these pages, but these the things that you'll notice here, and it's no different when I take you to Buncee in a moment and I cross over to showing you it online. It's colour, it's pride, it's ownership, it's being able to draw as well as being able to write in any way. It's being able to have big headings, but write in whatever font you want. So whether this be in a writing book or whether this be in an actual online with Buncee, both things match exactly the same. And so here's some more, and you can see a photo there. It's quite an old photo, but nothing changes in what I do in my classrooms there. But students there working heads down. Look at the pages, they're full. And we've also seen annotations of texts there. If I could tell you the level that some of these students' work is at, we're not here talking about our high top band students. We're talking about some of our students who have been disengaged, and this is the way we re-engage them. And if we also think about a lot of our young boys in our classrooms who we really struggle to get anything on paper or to write, choice and real world really ignites that change. So a lot of what I do with my students is around critical and creative thinking stems. I just have a few here on the screen for you, but what you'll see is each week as part of the global write, I will unpack some kind of thinking skill or some kind of way that you can explicitly teach children how to think outside the box. And so as you can see, I might take something like a compass point or a connect extend challenge, and I can give students some data such as you can see there around Myanmar. We did a lot of work around the sustainable goals and the Myanmar crisis with the Rohingya people. Now, I was working with students in years 3 and 4 on this work. So it's how you ignite that thinking in your classroom. All right, so as I take a flip now, we've seen the notebook side, but now I take you to the Buncee side, and I actually have a Buncee board all set up ready to show you some of the powerful examples. And I've called it World Writing Month because, you know, we're here to celebrate this month through Buncee. And so I just want to share a few different examples here. Now you can see here, this was one of the examples where my class was part of Michael Drezick's story that went right around the world. Now, what I loved was I had students create this, and then we were able to send it off to Michael, but we added our own piece of, as a class, we brainstormed what we were going to have as part of our story. And then we were able to have a look what the previous people had written as the story journey had happened. And I think, again, you can see that I had to throw a spanner in there and add something about the sustainable goals to get people thinking about that. Now, when we talk about unpacking thinking, here are some different ways that I had students doing that. So here's an example using Buncee where I would give students a picture. Now you saw a picture in the writer's notebook that was written one. Well, here's no different on Buncee. So students had placed the picture up there, and then they were unpacking their thinking via. Now this student obviously hasn't added any animations in that, but what I wanted to get across that it can be as simple or as complex as you want, but a blank screen or a blank page, again, that's safety, you know, but let's dig deeper into what the children have written here. I see two best friends walking with each other on the road. I infer that they are walking to school because that is where they first met, I think. I wonder why the road is mixed with the footpath. And this picture reminds me of when me and my friend Mitchell walk in the school ground. So obviously Mitchell and this boy come in, and you know they're really close and they've got their arms. So I want you to dig deeper than the tool, dig deeper than what we're talking about here, and look at the thinking. Now this is a grade 3 student who is already making that connection and that deep connection around friendship. We also have here a student who has placed on their, you know, need to know, excited, worried, suggested, need to know. So they've placed their thinking up here around the image that they've been given. Again, here you can see colour, pieces of writing on the side. Again, quite simple, but you know, what I find exciting, the children are getting to be together and they're having lots of fun. I suggest that they make it so everybody can make a mural by themselves, so that they can tell their own stories, however and how they want it to be told. The depth that we're digging into getting out of our students, it comes from the opportunities that we give them. So again, what we know Buncee is great at, it provides also for some of these students, it has templates, loads and loads of templates on there that can help structure. For this young boy, I was trying to get out of him to tell me something about himself, and I just couldn't, he just verbally couldn't do it for me. Put him onto Buncee. He found the passport template. Next thing, he's telling me he's measured his tongue. Not that I really need to know that it's 7 centimeters long, but his height, his gender, his eye color, where he was born. All of a sudden, I know a little bit more about this young man now. So we're taking some students that don't have a voice, and we're giving them a voice. But it's, you know, I've got so many here to share. I've been a huge Buncee user for endless amounts of years, advocate, and it really, I can't speak any more highly of it being a tool to be used in classrooms everywhere at any age level. This one was a really interesting topic around children learning in a different way. And so, you know, we're seeing students right here, when you learn, you can do hands-on things like Lego, Play-Doh, drawing. It's okay to be different, but here they're expressing themselves in imagery, and so they're finding images that they can add to their Buncee as well. Now, when we talk about the writer's gift that I talk about, here's students publishing their work, and so you look straight, this, once it's printed off, it's the, sorry, I get a little emotional when I look at and think about some of these students and what they're producing. As I floated down the breathtaking river, I feel a strike of isolation and discovery. As I fell down the narrowing, lifeless hole, it's consuming me so fast I don't get a chance to yell out for help. As I sink into the never-ending hole, I think about what I can do to live another day. All I gave that student was the word bottomless. And so it's the enriching power of their knowing that I believe in them, and the power of vocab and teaching vocab, but also giving them the opportunity to publish their work and have it be seen by others. And there's many different examples here around publishing. Here, students using the amazing backgrounds that Buncee have to offer. Here's another bottomless one from a different student where they're sharing their stories. So what we want to get across here is that Buncee has endless opportunities for our students. And so if I share with you today a little bit about what I'm going to be doing with my students today. So what I'm doing is I'm modeling in classrooms the ability for students to be able to think at a deeper level. So I'm going into a classroom today. They've never seen Buncee before. Do I feel stressed about? Not in the least. I'll give them their login, and I can tell you those students will just go about it, and they will teach me more than I probably already know about Buncee. So what we're doing today is, so I've taken one of Buncee's templates, which was around thinking, so my reading thoughts. But what I've then done is I've adapted it to my own needs for the class. So what I've got is on the next page is share your questions before, during, and after reading. And so what we're actually doing today is we're looking at young youth leaders around the world who have made an impact in some way. And so I've collected information on around 20 different young youth leaders. This class has been quite disengaged, so we're re-engaging them, coming back, because we're just back from remote learning here in Australia. So here in my state, we actually, I'm in the same state as Melbourne, so we actually were the most locked down state in the world. Our students have had around 270 days at home, more than any school in the world. So we're really about re-engaging and exciting our children about learning. So what a better way. So then what I've done is I've set the template up to my expectations today. Now they can actually add whatever they want, but part of our structure is title, author, original thought. Once they've read their text or they've explored what they're doing. So I've given them some structure, but then what I love here is I've just changed the top. In the beginning, my question was, because we're looking at the 3 stages of questioning, but Buncee then adds this little part here that says use text, stickers, animation, drawing, or whatever you choose to show what your thought in the beginning of your reading is. So the key word here that I want to get across to everybody is whatever you choose, choice. That is the difference with re-engagement and engagement of our students in our classrooms. And so it moves in. As I read, I wonder, after reading, I still have more questions that I have. And so what my aim will be is this will be our template to begin our session today. And what we will hope is the students will then take this information away, and then they will be able to write about this person, but in their own perspective and in their own visualization of taking the text away and then moving it into their thinking and their thought. So I wanted to really just share that today as something simple, as a brand new class, never used Buncee before, but we're going to engage them quickly with it. And I'm all set up, logins, everything like that. Basically, they'll come in, they'll have the explicit teaching, and we'll be straight into it. And I'll look really forward to sharing some of this work with you all as well. So I'll tweet that out onto Twitter. So as we, I find it very easy to talk for a long period of time. So we're already 30 minutes in. But what I also wanted to quickly share is the power of Buncee here, being able to set up your classes for whichever. I've actually archived, I usually have 5 or 6 classes here, but I've archived quite a few of them at the moment to center on the class that I'm working with. Now, what I've actually done is, I was trialing, but I've set the assignment up ready to go. So as the students log in today using the class code, they will have the assignment ready to go. And so they will click on the assignment here, and you can do this for this month's reading contest as well. You can set it up for your class as an assignment if you want, and have them then submit to your, so as you can see, they'll click on the assignment and it's going to go straight to them there. So I just wanted to quickly share that on how we've set that up with the class. All right, now just quickly, as we, I understand time for everybody, but I just have some, if I can just go through some of the digital story contest with you all here. Now, what you actually need to do is, I'm seeing a lot of people fill out the form, but they're not actually, they haven't yet done the writing with their class. What you need to do is, it's about participating within your class or with your students and having them create these stories for us and then have them publish it on Buncee. So you're going to have to set up a Buncee board. Now, if people are not sure, if we go quickly back to this dashboard, if people are not sure how to set that Buncee board up, you just need to go to boards there once you're logged into Buncee, and it'll have boards, and create your new board here where it says board. And then once you've created your new board there, I'll just move me out of the way there. You'll see over here where you'll be able to, you'll get your share code here, your copy link. That's what we're looking for. That's what we need when you submit using the actual form, the Microsoft form we've set up. We need your Buncee board link, but we need I'm getting lots of boards that are empty, or lots of people sending me boards where they've just got lots of templates on them, but there's not actually any stories on there. So I just wanted to clarify that now with you all about, we want your Buncee board link, but we want to have your student stories on there, because that's what this is all about. We want to see the amazing stories that your students have been preparing for us. And there is still plenty of time for that to happen. So if we continue on here, we know that the contest is running now until November 26th. And so if you go to the global right, all the information will come straight up on the screen for you. And we've been we will walk you through the process step by step. So, you know, how does it work? We're going to be having winners in the K to 2. We're going to have winners for the year levels 3 to 6. We're going to be looking for winners between the 7 to 12 age group. Okay. And we're looking for that creativity. So as you can see, here's a Buncee board with lots of stories on it. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for full boards with lots and lots of stories on them. So this is where you enter, and this is the form I've been talking about. So it's really, really important that when you get here to the Buncee board, that's where you will give us your Buncee link. Now, you can't actually get a Buncee link unless you have actually logged and create a board, unless you have logged in. So here, Buncee have supplied so many resources for this to be an amazing experience for classrooms. They've given you templates and they come straight up. So there's so many great templates there that you can be using. They also, here, if you have not signed up or used Buncee before, they've actually allowing everybody in the world 45 days to be part of this contest. So 45 days, sign up and use the Global Rights 1121 code, and you'll be able to access all the requirements that allow your students to get on to Buncee. That's when you're going to be able to create your Buncee board. You're going to be able to create your class and have them adding their Buncees to the Buncee board. And obviously, lastly, the most amazing opportunity is to be able to be part of these live session schedules. So on the 17th, we're going to be hearing from Michael Drezick, who one of my very close friends, but also one of the most amazing innovators with technology that I know in the world. So don't miss his session. And then Shannon Miller is going to be talking about building and engaging reading communities for all readers. So again, Shannon is an outstanding leader, and don't miss her session on November 22nd. And so as I finish out this session with you all, I really wanted to draw your attention a little bit to the global right, and really how powerful it can be for you to use in your classroom. We have weekly learning tasks now. We haven't had new tasks over the last few weeks because the digital story contest has been our key focus, but you will find some of the most engaging, igniting themes and topics that can really grab hold of your students on this website. It is free. Not very often that you can get anything for free anymore. Why is it free? Because my passion is to work with educators around the world. And I'm an educator myself, and I know how costly it is for actual lesson plans sometimes. And so what I hope to do is I use the Global Write more as a model for my teachers. So we have over 200 schools around the world using the Global Write in their classroom and in their English classes from K right through to year 12, all over the world. So it is really, really exciting. As you can see from Mental Health Care for All, Let's Make It a Reality, that picture there is my own work, and I'm going to finish off by showing you some of my work in a moment. But if I just quickly take you through what I am very, very lucky here to do is I'm able to work very closely with a Maze Lab in the UK who supply us with STEM tasks each week, and we've seen some really amazing STEM tasks submitted. If I just take you quickly through a Global Write page, it always links to the UN Sustainable Goals in some way. So, but here is that first part I'm talking to you about, planting the seed. So I always plant the seed first, teaching you how to unpack the thinking of your students. And so this week was planting a seed about using a heart map. And we go on to give you all different templates and samples. See, these are from people's writers' notebooks, which are fabulous. We used Padlet this week, and as you can see, some absolutely amazing examples of how people participated in the Global Write that week, submitting their different students' thinking via the Padlet. And then I always model my own thinking, and I think that's really important as educators, that it's okay that you use these tools, but it's important that you model how to use them as well. So as you can see, so every week I model my thinking. And then what we do is it's a choice. So we provide students with choice. We provide them with all different types of prompts. And as you can see, Buncee, every week there is a Buncee prompt that we have. We have a Buncee board every week that students can submit their Buncees to. And so this week was around creating your own I Promise poster. And here was some examples. And I'm a bit of a Buncee freak, and what I love about the Global Write is I get to make Buncees every week as well. So here was my own I Promise Buncee that I shared with the community to model. And as you can see there, and so then we have all different other creative prompts that students can also be part of. And then we have a Maze Lab who shares with us some amazing opportunities for students to use STEM in the classroom. So, and then we finish off with which UN goal that we're actually supporting. And what I wanted to finish off with is sharing with you our Global Write Gallery, just to show you how far and wide the work of the Global Write is taking the learning with students across the world. So you can go to the gallery and you'll see here was World Peace Day via the Global Write, and we had submissions from all over the world. but one of our schools, which was in Abu Dhabi, created their own Padlet. And as you can see, here was all their writing they'd created for us, inspirational. So this is where I get to watch this all come in as the week unfolds. But here you can see all the different ways students are unpacking their thinking. You can see here Gupta, he's used Buncee here, created a Buncee for his. And you can go through, teachers are creating their own templates. We see the global right in classrooms, up in classrooms there. We see amazing 4 and 5-year-olds participating. We're seeing here one word 2021 classes having big displays using the global right. It's taken into art classes for students to be able to create via the global right. But here's where we see, once again, Buncee being a huge part of what our students are doing. Here's a Buncee that was sent to us around no child labour and the writing there on it. Here was an amazing one about the life cycle of a bee, which was one of the tasks as well. And so, again, it's endless, the connection that the global right has made to students around the world. So hopefully today you're going to be able to take away with you my passion for writing, and I'm going to stop sharing now. So my passion for writing, lots of different ways that you can use a blank page, whether that be in a book or whether it be using Buncee. Maybe you could use templates as well, that Buncee have so many templates on there. And so I've given you lots of different opportunities, but last of all, I really hope that you join me in the digital story contest and have your students participating, and also join me each week with the global right. It may be just one part of it that you get out of it that you can use with your students. You might pop in every couple of weeks, but there is so many rich resources, and every week there is something there to ignite your students' use of Buncee. So please get on board, and thank you a huge amount to the Buncee team for being able to enable me and the global right to be part of this journey with them this month. They are like family to me, and Gabby's coming back on now, which is amazing, and Jenna. So hopefully I've done them proud today, and that everybody's got something that they can go away with. So thanks, ladies.
Absolutely. Wow. Bronwyn, thank you so much. This has been such an informative session. There were so many ideas. I think even people were saying in the chat, you know, they're loving what you're showing, and that it's inspiring so many ideas. So absolutely, thank you so much. One question that I had, I know you shared a lot about your experience using Buncee for writing with your students. Is there a particular favorite project that you have done with Buncee and writing, or a particular moment that stands out for you? I know you shared a lot about different things that you've done, and it was really cool to see your students' work. I think, you know, kudos to them. They seem really talented, and it's really cool to see their creativity. But is there a particular project or moment that stands out to you?
I think for me, what stood out was it's when Buncee created the new sustainable goal templates that started coming out, and with that being such a passion of mine, being able to direct the children to those stickers and to those backgrounds that were already there for them, I think that was a really exciting time for me. But I think a second one is when the templates came out, because we have so many students who learn at different levels. And as much as it's great to start with a blank page, but that next step, templates are the next step in the journey. And I think that, yeah, like today's lesson is, I'm so excited to go and teach it because I've already got it set up. The template's there, it's ready to go. So I think for me, I get excited all the time with a new thing you guys come out with, but it's the ability for me to use these tools such as the templates. And I'm always excited when you create something for the global right. So I have to throw that in there too. So, but yeah, definitely the sustainable goal backgrounds and stickers and the templates have really shone out for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes total sense. And that actually brings me into the next thing I wanted to talk really quickly about. If you don't mind, I will go ahead and just share my screen really briefly. And yes, I actually see, hi, Linda in the chat is saying that, yeah, some students do need the scaffolding of the template. Sometimes it's a little intimidating to create from a blank page. Some people really enjoy that, but others, they need that little extra guidance, and that's where the templates come in. So we have tons of writing templates. If you search in our templates library, or if you search in Ideas Lab too, you'll see examples as well. But you'll be able to find lots of different creative writing journals, all sorts of those kinds of templates. And we actually did create these templates that you had shown earlier, Bronwyn, about the for National Novel Writing Month, for the digital story contest. So if you are looking to get started with the digital story contest and you're not sure where to go, definitely these templates are a great resource. They are all here on a board, so I'll go ahead and share this in the chat as well. But if you're looking to get started with your story, you at least can have a little bit of a framework here to get started, where you can enter in create maybe a little design and then enter in and share your story. You don't have to use these templates to enter the contest. If you don't want to, that's totally fine, but they are here if you need something to help you get started. And again, we have a couple other templates that you can use if you want to learn about, getting started, organizing your thinking, writing about your characters, and writing about your setting and outlining your basic plot. So I'll go ahead and I'll share this in the chat as well. And with that, I think we are at time, and thank you everyone so much for joining in. Before everyone goes, and before we just say our final goodbyes and thank yous, I did want to let everyone know, just as a reminder, that please join in for Michael Drezik's session on November 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern. And you can register for that session by going to bit.ly/globalwrite1117. So definitely go ahead and sign up, save your spot for that now, and we hope to see you then. But with that, I think we are at the end of our session. Bronwyn, thank you so much for being with us here this evening, or this morning in your case. This was such an informative session. You shared so much, and we got to see so many different examples, and really got to see how, the different ways that you can use Buncee to express your thoughts creatively. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone so much for being here. Jenna, did you have anything else you wanted to say quick?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Bronwyn. I think this will give people a really good head start and kind of a good insight on starting and participating in the contest, and just getting students to create and express their voice. And yeah, I just, we love all of your work, and the fact that your students trust you so much and they're able to express their voice is amazing. So thank you for sharing with us.
And thank
Absolutely.
you to everybody for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. And with that, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and we hope to see you on the next one. Take care,
We
everybody.
hope to see all your stories.
Yes, really looking forward to seeing all your stories.
Your stories.
Yes.
Remember, you can
Bye,
go
everyone.
to theglobalwrite.com. Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.